Hey guys, welcome back. This video is inspired by a couple different channels here. Let me see. Boy, the one of them, I forgot what it was already. I'm not doing my job. But anyways, it's called Animal-Based In Your Face. Now that's got some pretty interesting content on there. They got some pretty good recipes. And they did a recipe similar to this, and I wanted to try this for myself to see what I could come up with. Now, this is a basic bacon carnivore snack, and the product I'm using here was purchased at Costco by my wife. She called me and she knows that I'm really particular about specific ingredients, so she was reading off every single ingredient on every type of bacon that was available at the store that day, and this one here caught my attention right away. This is called Hempler's, and it's 0 sugar uncured bacon, gluten-free, pork, no growth promoting antibiotics, and hand trimmed. Now this is something I have made in the cast iron skillet about a week ago. Now this here comes in a 2-pack. Now the thing that I really liked about it the most is it has no nitrates. I mean, I'm trying to stay away from nitrates the best I can. Sometimes they make me act a little weird, not necessarily act a little weird, just feel a little weird. So I guess the process here is take a pound of bacon on a cutting board. I got my knife out here. Now we also have, this is the deepest pot I have. Now we need to have a lid as well. We're going to be cutting this bacon up into fourths and then just adding it straight into the pot. That's basically what they told me to do. So I'm going to get this bacon out. We're going to start cutting it up. I'm going to show you what this bacon looks like. This stuff is gorgeous looking bacon. Now, and as soon as you open the package, it just has this amazing smoky smell. It just fills the room. And I'm glad I flipped this over, because yeah, I probably would have started cutting this up and it would have gotten in the way. But this is the cooking instructions and all that stuff. A little bit of nutrition facts. But as you can see down there, like right on the bottom corner on the left, ingredients: pork, water, sea salt, celery powder. That's it, nothing else. Not a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't necessarily need or want. And that's going in the garbage. But anyhow, I'm gonna get busy cutting this up into fourths the best I can. Now, I'm not the best chef in the world, but I do try. And one, I'm gonna cut you right in half. Hopefully I don't get a finger in this, because that would just make it taste funny. Now there was one time I was at a pizza place and I wound up lopping off a good portion of my thumb in a meat slicer. I was slicing up peppers, for instance, and it was kind of embarrassing, but it hurt at the same time, but it didn't hurt nearly as bad as it looked. And so like a good portion of this thumb right here, for instance, it actually got chopped off like right here, and you can still see a little bitty part of the line there. I don't know if that camera is good enough to focus on that, but it chopped off that whole section there. And so basically I just picked it up and put it back on, and we taped it up until I got to the hospital. The hospital cleaned it up, and we used super glue at the hospital to fix this thumb. Now, for many years, I never had any sensation or feeling right there, and it just, interestingly enough, it healed itself, and the nerves decided they were going to grow back, and I have feeling there. And especially in the harsh, cold winters, it didn't matter where I was living, this whole part of my thumb was just incredibly numb. So every time I bumped it on something, oh, it was horribly painful. But anyways, we're supposed to take this bacon here, and I didn't get that completely cut through, of course, because I'm not the best chef in the world, and this is okay. But we're going to take that, we're going to set it in our pot, and then we're going to take it on over to the stove. Now, the instructions I got was to put it on high until everything gets going, and then we're going to take this and we're going to turn it down to medium heat. And if everything works correctly, I'm guessing it's supposed to be done cooking in approximately 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to clean up this mess, get it on over the stove, and see what happens, get it going. So okay, we're over at the stove. We're gonna fire this thing up. Hopefully we don't blow up the house, and we're gonna see how this goes. Now, they say to leave the lid on it. Now, I don't have one of those vented lids. I don't know if that's gonna matter, but hopefully it doesn't matter, and you know, we'll find out for sure here in a little bit. Let's see, I'm gonna have to find a utensil of some sort to hopefully, you know, mix it up when it comes time to needing mixed up. So I'm guessing some tongs might do the trick, and these will also help when it comes time to actually taking it out. So we got to have these on standby, and yeah, we're just going to see what happens here. Just going to let this stuff cook down, and I'll let you know how long it takes here in just a minute. Oh, something I did forget to mention is that we don't need to add anything to this. It's just the bacon straight in the pan, and it's going to create its own bacon grease because it's bacon. So the one thing I'm going to want to do is get this stirred up before everything starts burning to the bottom, before it starts making its own grease, and then it'll eventually hopefully start cooking itself a little bit better. And I'm hoping the end result will be these nice crispy little bacon treats. All right, so far so good. I'm just going to pop it open. We're going to kind of stir it up just a little bit, kind of loosen these bacon pieces up in there. I'm going to go ahead and get you swung around, and we're going to take a look at what I'm doing here. So okay, this is basically what's going on here. We're just going to break these up just a little bit. And if we had smell-o-vision, I mean, it would be so amazing to share with you what this smells like. Man, it's just super smoky. It smells like it just came out of the smokehouse. And for a store-bought bacon, this is an amazing option. So yeah, I'd recommend run down to Costco and get some of this. I mean, it's a great deal. I mean, I like this stuff. It wasn't that expensive. I don't know exactly what the cost is, what it's going to be in your area, because everything up here in Alaska, it's going to cost $3, $4, $5 more than it is down in the lower 48. And the majority of people that are watching here, they're down in the lower 48. So, you know, your bacon's going to be a lot cheaper. Now, another option for getting a good healthy bacon without a lot of nitrates and extra added just nonsense we don't really want or need, that's just go to your butcher. Your butcher can slice you up some really nice bacon, and you can have much healthier bacon snacks and bacon treats. I try to stay away from the name brands like Oscar Mayer, all the other, you know, fancier type bacons. I'm not really into the turkey bacons or anything like that, so you know, I just stay away from that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we do have a decent amount of grease forming already. So you see how everything looks right there. That doesn't look bad. I mean, that looks promising. So this might actually work for what I want it to do. And hopefully I'm not getting splatter all over my camera. But like I said, I've never tried this before. And apparently Dr. Berg has a recipe out that talks just about this too. But and then I guess this might have been inspired originally by, you know, someone, you know, by Dr. Berg himself, because, you know, this is a great idea. If I can get away with doing this and I don't have all that splatter all over my stove, like this is a dirty pan, cast iron. This is probably from the last time we made bacon, and I just need to clean it out. And cast iron's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, because you got to do a whole process of, you know, heat up the cast iron and, you know, wipe out what you can and try to get, you know, with paper towels and put it in the trash. And you don't want to run that stuff down your sink, that's for sure. And the whole process of trying to take a hot cast iron skillet and dump the grease into something like this can sometimes be a bigger headache than anything else. So if this works here, that's going to save me like a whole step, and I could actually make, you know, probably bigger slices of bacon like this without making a huge mess on my stove or inside my stove if I decided to cook bacon on a bacon sheet. Now I hear a lot of people doing that inside their stove, but doesn't the bacon grease just splatter inside your stove? It's got to go somewhere. It's not just disappearing, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to clean bacon grease off the inside of my stove. If anywhere, I'm going to want to clean it off the top side, because at least I can see this, I can touch it, and it's a whole lot easier. I don't have to get down on the floor and do a whole bunch of silly scrubbing and stuff. So anyhow, we're gonna pop this off one more time. Oh yeah, that's looking good. And I don't see any of it burning to the bottom of the pan. That's nice. That's kind of what I wanted to see. So as this cooks down some more, and I'll bring the camera over here so you guys can take a quick look. But as it cooks down some more, you can see it's just sitting in its own bacon fat. So, and if you stir it occasionally, it's not going to burn to the bottom of the pan and create this huge giant clunk of mess like you get on this cast iron, where it just kind of sticks to it after a while, and it's just such a freaking pain to clean off. So, you know, hopefully this is going to work, and I'll be back in a few minutes and let you know about how long it is. Now, also, when I started here, I started at about 4:21. It's 4:28 now, so yeah, we're about 7 minutes in, and according to the person I talked to online, they said that this should probably take about, you know, 10 or 15 minutes or so. And at some point, and I believe the point is now, we're going to turn this down to about medium heat. So we're about 7 minutes in, everything's starting to work. We're getting the grease in there. And so now we're just going to turn it down to medium heat for the rest of the cook time. We're just going to let this do its thing for a little bit, and we'll be right back with that and check it out again. So the time now is about 4:31. We're about 10 minutes in. I did open it up and stirred it around, checked on it a little bit. I got a little bit of anxiety about doing this because it's hot bacon grease, and I don't want to fire on my stove for obvious reasons, because that's kind of a pain in the butt. But I stirred it around, you know, checked on it. I don't appear to have anything at all sticking to the bottom. So, I mean, that might be really good news. And this might be my new favorite way to make bacon. But I was also kind of excited because I haven't talked about this before on my channel. I make a lot of hard-boiled eggs. So we have a lot of these left over. And this is my little secret, and this is the wife's secret that she showed me. She saves all of these. And when it comes time to making bacon, this is what you want to use. You just take your bacon, you set it on top of this. All the grease strips in there. It kind of cools nice and evenly, and you don't have a big mess. And when you're done, you just take this and throw it away. Save your paper towels. They cost a lot of money. These come with your eggs. If you eat as much eggs as I do, which is approximately 30 eggs every week on average, you're going to have quite a few of these kicking around the house. Even the smaller cartons that are made out of this cardboard, you know, they'll work the same for bacon. You just take the bacon out, you set them in the carton. You can actually close the carton and, you know, set it on your kitchen table, and people can just pick off of that if they want to, or this. Doesn't matter. These don't make a mess. They're fantastic, and I'll show you more about that here in just a little bit. All right, everything is looking pretty good. We're at, let's see, 4:35. So yeah, we're a little bit in there. This isn't exactly a 10-minute project so far. We're encroaching on to 15 minutes, which isn't too bad. Plus, you know, setup time, getting the cutting board out, slicing it up into pieces, and putting it in the pot. So in the meantime, we can get to know each other a little bit. But anyhow, have you guys watched my, let's see, how I lost 100 pounds in 15 weeks video? That was one of my best videos, and that's kind of what got this channel kick-started and actually moving pretty decent. Now, about 18 weeks ago, I was 435 pounds, like just a whopping 435 pounds. That's freaking huge. And wow, I apologize if that light is just horrible. I don't know if I can get any better lighting, but you know, I'm doing my best. Yeah, I was a hot mess. It was horrible, but we're here cooking bacon, and I never thought in a million years that sitting here making a pound of bacon in a pot was going to be a good idea, especially for my health. Now, everything that I've been taught over the years is that bacon's unhealthy, it's going to kill me, it's going to give me a heart attack, and here I am making bacon snacks to eat specifically, you know, as almost like a standalone staple. Let's see, after this video, I'm going to be probably putting together some sardines with some tuna fish and mixing that up, and you know, that's going to be my protein for the day. Now, I do have some salmon in the fridge. I totally forgot about. The wife cooked that last night, and I might just break that out and have some salmon. I got 2 decent sized fillets sitting here in the fridge, so that might be my go-to to add with this bacon. But I should eat some sardines. I am completely out of fish oil. I mean, this bottle is just flat out empty. It is what it is. I need to go to the store. We need to get more. And in the process, we need to get more of this freaking bacon. This stuff is amazing. And I can't wait to show you the end result. It's going to be golden, I hope. I really hope, because if it turns out anything like the other videos I've watched, this stuff is awesome. Like, absolutely amazing. So anyways, if you want to learn more about my weight loss, I mean, I made an entire playlist from the first day that I started losing weight, and I've made a video for every single week of my entire weight loss journey. And I thought that was important because I don't want to be the guy that gets to a certain point and then, you know, I start sponsoring these ridiculous products, these powders, $90 things that most people can't afford. I mean, let's get real. We've got inflation going on. Who needs to buy an expensive product in a powdered form? And half the time we're only going to use a part of it, and we're going to throw the rest of the powder away. That's usually what happens, you know, protein powders and stuff like that. The majority of us here in the room, we're all Gen X's, and we're probably the most sarcastic people in the world. So yeah, don't toot our horn with these products that are being made by people we don't even know. We don't know who the doctors are that are recommending the products and stuff like that. And I've been offered some of these products just to test out just for myself and give an honest review. Now, there is one product I might be looking into, but I need to find a P.O. box. So we're not going to send mail directly to my house, because I don't want these people having my home address. That's just ridiculous. So we're going to have to get a P.O. box set up here in town. That way, if people do want to send us either donations or special items or gifts in the mail, you know, we're going to be able to accept those in a much safer fashion, like at the post office and not outside my driveway, because I don't want random people just showing up here, because we got a family here. That's why my house is always so dirty, and I'm sorry about that. I do try to clean up a lot, as you could probably see over here. Did all of these dishes, but you know, as soon as you do the dishes, this is kind of what happens, and then you got more dishes over here. And if you live in a house with kids, that's just life. I mean, you get upset, you're like, oh, I got so many dishes. Who cares? You guys are going to make a mess every day. I mean, the house isn't going to stay clean forever. This isn't supposed to be a palace. This is supposed to be a place for us to live and enjoy each other. And yeah, we make messes. That's just how it is. But anyways, oh, this is starting to sound absolutely amazing. I'm going to let you guys check this out. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that, but the sound of this stuff, like, wow, whoa, whoa, look at that. Yeah, nice. Who doesn't like the sound of cooking bacon, especially when it's not splattering all over you? And I know everybody in here, we've all had that moment where we've been cooking bacon at some time, like either without a shirt or in shorts or maybe even in our underwear. And yeah, we've got some pretty nasty bacon burns over the years. Oh, come here, guys. You got to see this. This looks so good. It's juicy, super fatty bacon cooking down in its own juices and fats. Oh my goodness, look at that. I am going to get some browning on the bottom of the pan. I see that right now. But I guess that's just going to have to be part of it, and we'll figure out how to get this pan clean when we're done. Hopefully. I really don't want to wreck another pan. I've wrecked too many pans over the years, and normally it's when relatives come to town. They tend to do stuff that, well, it kind of ruins a pan or two, but it's all right. They're cooking for us at times, and it's worth to wreck a pan once in a while. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, yes, we're finally starting to get it to brown. And let's see what time we got here. We started at 4:21. It's now 4:43. So we're into it a little bit for a little bit of time. But I wanted to show you this. We're just now starting to get this to brown. That's what we're looking for. We want crunchy, crisp bacon. And this stuff's finally starting to turn a little bit. I'm getting super excited because I love to eat crispy bacon. All day long I could eat crispy bacon. And now that I know that it's somewhat healthy for me and it's not going to kill me, you know, like the FDA used to tell us, and that silly, you know, food tree and all that stuff. So basically everything that I ever learned from the conventional diet here in the United States, I just basically crumpled that up and I threw it out. I threw it in the garbage because it's absolute nonsense. Eggs are not going to kill you. I mean, I've proven that one because, yeah, I've eaten nothing but eggs for an entire week for a fast. I mean, if that was the case, I should have had a heart attack and died. Now, I know there's some people out there that kind of wish I would, but, you know, I'm sorry. I tried. I ate as many eggs as I could, and apparently it's good for me, and I lost a lot of weight doing it. So, okay. But, like, the bacon, too. I mean, I've eaten pounds of bacon since starting carnivore, and not a problem. I eat bacon, and I eat, you know, hamburger meat, steaks, especially hard-boiled eggs. I love my hard-boiled eggs, guys. It's not hurting me. My blood pressure is perfectly normal. My blood work is fabulous. So, yeah, I mean, what's wrong with this? I mean, the only thing I don't like about carnivore is the whole, you know, don't fart, it could be a surprise, or you could get constipated if you don't do it just right, because you got to have enough fats to make all of this protein kind of glide out. So it's just one of those things. But I am a glutton now for my new craving has turned out to be vegetables. I like mixed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and, you know, squash, frozen mix, stuff like that. Vegetables are extremely expensive here in Alaska, if you didn't know that. I mean, we got to get it all shipped up. Most of it comes from Southern California, comes out of Mexico. We do get a bunch of vegetables that come up out of Washington State, and they head this way. And I don't know, a little bit of trivia here. Did you know that Idaho Spuds, the majority of those potatoes come from another state? I used to haul them as a truck driver over to Idaho so they could put them in a box after they super process them, and then they call them Idaho Spuds. Just a little food for thought. Try to figure out where your food comes from. I am super surprised that with the smell of bacon, smoky bacon in this house, that my wife and kids and son, and they just haven't come blazing in here like, oh, you're making bacon. But I mean, of course, I have my doggy here. My dog's laying on the floor, and my trusty cat. This is my trusty battle cat. Oh, this little girl right here, I found her as a little kitten, and if I can, I'm going to try to find you guys a picture so I can put that up to show you, you know, what this beautiful little chubby kitten looked like when she was a little baby. She was so tiny. I mean, she was incredibly tiny. She used to like fit in my shirt pocket. She was so small. She actually came from across the street over there, and my son went out and grabbed her out of a litter of kittens that were basically just born underneath the house across the street. There was nobody living in the house at the time, and the crawl space was wide open, so it was a perfect place for kittens to be born. And I just said, hey, go over there and grab one of the gray ones and bring it home. And yeah, there she is. We got her fixed. We had to get her spayed. That was not exactly cheap. That was kind of a pain in the butt, but you know, it's what you do when you love your animals and you want to take care of them. She's really happy here. These cats, they don't try to bolt out the door, thank goodness. I do have another cat. Her name is Molly. This one here, her name is Gray Bear. You know, she's gray and she's poofy and she looks kind of like a bear. She's always looked like that, but when we got her, she was super cross-eyed. But my other cat, Molly, she got my hand. I mean, we were playing and I was roughhousing with her. She got my hand right there, opened it up pretty good, and then she got me again right there. Ooh, tell you what, that hurt. But let's check on this bacon again and see what we got going on. And we are encroaching to 4:49. So we started at 4:21. So in a couple more minutes, yeah, we're going to be pretty close to, what's that, 20, 30 minutes, whatever. I'm not going to do the math right now. I'm so excited. Wow, look at that. That little bit of moisture that's falling off the lid, just totally getting that fired up. That's pretty loud. That's some good ASMR right there. I didn't know anything about ASMR until my son mentioned it one day. And I actually had to Google it, and I looked it up on YouTube. And apparently that's the, you know, specific sounds and stuff like that. Like the sounds of cooking bacon, the sounds of knives, or this sound right here. You know, that's like an ASMR sound. If you've never even heard of the term, I don't blame you. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's a thing that a lot of these people use when they're doing these cooking videos because it's kind of calming and it makes people just want to, you know, hang out and just listen to the chopping sounds or the stirring sounds, or, you know, people eating food going. I mean, it's weird, but it's a thing, and it's a big thing. I mean, it's actually a hashtag, hashtag ASMR. It's kind of funny, but anyhow, I'll get back with you here in just a minute when we see how this bacon's going to turn out, because I like my bacon crispy. I like it crispy. And these are going to be made up for snacks. I'm going to put these in, you know, little like lunch containers. And let's see, what do I got here? Nope, I got a couple here I just washed, but these are just like sandwich containers. So I'm going to fill up a couple of these with the bacon. And the nice part about it is the kids can grab some whenever they want. If they decide to make some breakfast, the best way I've found is to pre-cook your bacon, store it in a Tupperware container, and then just take a regular pan, just take a regular like saucepan, whatever you would cook your eggs in, something like this here, and you just heat this pan up a little bit, toss the bacon in, and poof, that bacon tastes like it just was cooked. And it only took you maybe 3 or 4 minutes to reheat the bacon. It doesn't make a mess in the pan, by the way. So if you preheat your bacon, make your mess at one lump, store your bacon in the fridge, reheat it in a pan, and it tastes just like it was cooked with a giant freaking greasy mess all over the place, and you get like these splatter marks all over your clothes. Yeah, that's a good tip. That's something I just found out because, yeah, I started cooking a lot of bacon because I love bacon and it's kind of part of carnivore. All right, guys, I wanted to show you this. Yeah, I did. I counted on my fingers how many minutes it was, and I kind of ran out of fingers, so I had to use my toes, and that was a pain in the butt because I had to take my shoes off and count my toes. But anyways, the bacon is now starting to shrink. So I mean, we're getting there. We're just a little over a half an hour in, and we are down on medium heat. I'm just a little smidge above medium heat because my stove's a little finicky with the flame. So I mean, if you guys are cooking on an electric stove, I'm sorry, it's so hard to get your heat dialed in. And if you have one of those stoves that has a you know, a glass cooktop, oh man, I had one of those stoves, and I mean, that's the way those stoves heat up stuff. It's almost like you can burn water. I have never overboiled water as much until I had one of those glass stoves with that super boil setting, and you just turn it on, and it's always, as soon as you turn around, like I'll just turn around, the stove will be behind me, and it'll just start right in my face, and it's like all over the freaking floor. We got to grab the mop, and just an epic disaster. But bacon, we're doing bacon. All right, stay on topic, man. We're doing bacon. We're getting ready to get this hopefully done so I can show you how this nifty little egg carton thing works. And if you've never tried it, save these things. Don't buy eggs. Don't even buy eggs unless they're in a cardboard carton. I mean, I would never buy eggs that come in like a styrofoam container. I mean, we should be beyond that by now. You know, they were doing styrofoam containers back when, you know, back when we were children at McDonald's and Burger King. And yeah, we got rid of those. Remember, there was a reason why we got rid of those, because they just don't really go away. So, and they just keep filling the landfills. So yeah, absolutely. Cardboard container. Get your eggs in a cardboard container, and then when you throw these away, they're going to be covered in yummy bacon grease, and the worms are going to love them, and they will thank you. Okay, guys, I think we're done. Let's see, the time now is 4:58, so yeah, we're almost right at the 40-minute mark. We're going to pop the top on this, give you guys a look-see, and there we go. I mean, this looks like it's pretty good. We're going to shut the heat off. Now, like I said before, we've been running medium heat for the majority of this. For a little while, I had it just a little smidge above that, just to have, try to increase the cook time a little bit, but not so high that it just was going completely nuts. Now, so far, this whole process here has been a winner. I don't have any real bacon grease on here. I mean, this might be residue from when I used the cast iron here the last time. But another thing I'd like to mention is, like, this is how I'm going to transfer the grease over to here into a jar like this. I'm going to top this one off, and I'm going to put whatever I have left into this jar right here. But the thing is that when you do it this way, over a pan, even dirty pan, clean pan, it doesn't matter. Just do it over a pan. That way when you pour it, and you spill, you're gonna spill bacon grease. Everybody's done this. We spilled bacon grease many times, and it's usually over here on our counter. You're not trying to season the counter. Cast iron, you can season the cast iron all you want. You can fill this up completely with bacon grease, and it's not going to hurt the cast iron. If anything, you're going to be doing it a favor. So same thing goes with a regular pan like this. You can, doesn't matter. You can take your jar, set it in the pan, dump your bacon grease in there. That way, when you have a spill, it's not going to be an epic disaster, because it just really sucks trying to wipe bacon grease off of everything, because after all, it's bacon grease. It's slippery. It's kind of yucky. So we're letting this chill out just a little bit, and then we're going to start pulling this out, and then put it on our trusty little deal here, because this is super sweet, guys. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but I highly recommend it, and you're going to see what I'm talking about here in just a second. We're going to get our first little bit. You don't have to be overly zealous about getting all the drippings off, but boom. Now you see, I cut these in fours. It's kind of making small bacon, but that's okay. So you just kind of spread these out a little bit, let them drain off. And we're going to go ahead and get the rest of these out, let them do their thing. And then I'm going to, get them in some Tupperwares, and we're going to give these a try. And hopefully these all taste amazing. This is some super good bacon. So far, this is a winning way to cook bacon, in my opinion. I have not made a mess at all making this bacon. Normally my stove is just completely covered, or I have one of these little bacon splatter things that I got on Amazon, and those things work pretty darn good, but it's just one more thing to clean. So, granted, I have a lid, so I still have to clean the lid, but everything so far at this point has been contained inside this pot. So yeah, I'll be cooking my bacon again like this in a similar fashion. The only thing I might do a little bit differently is I might try cutting that same pound of bacon in half instead of cutting it up in fours. But I think this is going to be more than adequate for little bacon snacks or treats or something like that. The kids can snack on, the wife can grab. You can make little bacon crumbles, put it in your salads if you guys are if you're actually eating vegetables. I know not everybody eats vegetables these days because they're, so many freaking chemicals sprayed all over them, and there's a lot of GMO stuff going on these days. But yeah, wow. So the only disadvantage to this is it did brown the bottom of my pan or my pot. And that was something that I noticed in the video I watched, and I was a little bit concerned about that. So hopefully we can get that cleaned out without a whole lot of problem. And there we go. That's pretty much done. Now all the bacon is contained on this nice little thing here. And I mean, isn't that nice? I mean, isn't that nice? I mean, I don't have a mess on the counter. And even if I did, it's just a little bit. It's not going to be like a huge gooping mess of just bacon grease everywhere. Now, I thought I had one of those little screen things, but I don't know where it is. And the wife's in the back room watching a movie, so I don't really know where anything is. So when I pour this bacon grease into the jar, we're going to be stuck with getting some stuff in there, and I'll just have to be okay with that. And all right, this is cool to the touch. I got a bunch of little particles here. So, but this is what I was talking about when you go to pour. I'm just going to put a little bit on the top of here. And really, I guess I can darn near put all of it in there. Yeah, pretty close to all of it. So what I have left is probably going to go in a different fashion. It's not going to go down the drain. Don't put bacon grease down your drain, because guys like me got to climb under there, and I'm big. I'm smaller than I used to be. Like 18 weeks ago, I'm a lot smaller than I used to be, and it's still hard for me to fit underneath these dang sinks and get all that plumbing cleaned out from when people make mistakes. But oh yeah, let's see. That's a nice crispy piece right there. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Man, bacon is just freaking amazing. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a great way to do this, man. I highly recommend this. And if you like this video, stick around so you can watch some more. We're going to create some more videos here pretty soon. I only have a couple days on the weekend to make these videos, so be patient with me. And maybe someday I'll do this full time. But until then, I got to go to work every week and make as much money as possible so I can afford to make these videos and have fun. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you being here, and I really do hope to see you again, and please leave me a comment down in the comment section.